The government and the NHS face a huge task in caring for a growing ageing population and at the same time providing a step-by-step guide to criteria for choosing the right care home. Such criteria include facilities, locations, care needs and just as importantly, funding. In this programme, we speak to Sheila Scott, Chief Executive of the National Care Association. The association promotes high standards of care and represents the interests of providers caring for elderly people, people with learning disabilities, the physically handicapped, the mentally ill, children and domiciliary care agencies. We also hear from leading care providers Grupo Sanyres, ILG Homes and New Directions, who share their knowledge and expertise in providing the highest quality of care. We hope this programme will help you to make an informed choice, to ask the right questions, to find the right care home and the right caring culture.
Unlike almost every other country in the world, the United Kingdom has such a wide diversity of provision that providing the older person or their relative can find it, there must be a care home out there that would suit them, that would meet their needs. And it's not easy always to find them. But some of the key messages that I would give, unless you were looking for something really specialist, would be, first of all, look towards your own community. Stay as close to the community that you know as you can. And if you can't stay close to your own community, then move close to a relative. I've become increasingly aware in recent years that services for older people are being developed, say in Spain, along the costas, that services are developing. You see 1 or 2 care homes opening. I know that climate does play a part in the well-being of older people. So that warm Mediterranean climate might very well appeal.
Sanyres offers over 20 care homes and senior resorts all over Spain. Over the past 10 years, we built up a lot of experience in the care sector, but it's even more. We have become national leader and reference for rehabilitation and promotion of personal autonomy. Sanyres obviously is applying to all the international care standards, but also other quality normatives like the ISO 9000 norm or an INR-N certification we hold here in Spain. The main focus for Sanyres is always on the care side, apart from modern and functional accommodation. Sanyres is offering personalized programs to attend to their residencies. This according to the level of care they need, certain level of assistance, may it be physiological-wise or psychological-wise. We do have several grades of assistance there, but we do not end there. We do offer much more on social activities, cultural activities. Sanyres really is focusing on keeping people active within their later years. All Sanyres residencies and resorts are of recent construction. They're modernly furnished, they're very functional, obviously they are barrier-free. They do have the security of the resident in mind. They are nurse calling systems, not only in the bedroom, but also in the salon or in the bathroom. We do take great pride in designing the care homes with bright and also very wide communal areas as well. Sanyres care homes have been the first really international ones along the Costa del Sol. I think this does make a difference as well, because we are living up to the expectations of the expatriates living on the Costa del Sol, that we do really provide an alternative on care. Important for the international resident in the Sanyres care homes is that we do offer not only the key personnel talking English, but also that we do have guest attention in any kind of a foreign language if the demand is there.
We are dedicated to provide our residents everything what they need, that they feel safe, secure and in optimum health with us. But we go further. Our commitment does not end here. We cater for quality in life too. We offer plenty of high standard resources and activities to delight body, mind and spirit. We want that every resident here with us feels like he feels at home, even if he's with the carer or as well as fellow residents. That's why we offer public and private spaces. You can be completely independent, sit on the terrace, read a book. We have small group areas for study and socializing. Nice areas where as well you can keep fit and fun. Puerto Banús, our centre, is very close to the beach, only footsteps away from the entertainment areas, bars, restaurants, shopping centres, where you can make the best out of the Mediterranean here. We all know the sunny days and the stable climate makes the Costa del Sol here very, very important and one of the most attractive areas in Europe. We're just offering cafeterias, restaurants. Our core services is the on-site doctor, always with us, as well the 24-hour reception, and important to say, the 24-hour nursery and auxiliary carer. We have an emergency ambulance service and the alarm button in the apartment. Further as well to mention is that we are an open residence, that in optional service you can have massage, the chiropodist, the hairdresser and beauty treatments.
My name is Maria Galan. I work here as an occupational therapist in Sanyres, Puerto Banús, and so my own goal for the older adults is to keep them as more independent as possible, even of their problems or their pathologies. So that, I think that it's the main goal that all the occupational therapists have, and as well Sanyres philosophy has, because we try to engage all the older adults with their personal autonomy. So it's very important for us as well to keep them busy with healthy activities, with all the activities that they like and that we know that they are beneficial for them.
When I first got here, I thought it was very big and quite busy and very bright and colourful as well. And everyone tried to make me feel very welcome when I got here. It was quite difficult to begin with because of the communication barrier, but I've slowly picked up quite a bit of Spanish so I can communicate better with the patients. And there's lots for them on offer to do during the day, lots of groups and classes and things to be getting on with, and obviously there's physiotherapy and occupational therapy, and there's a psychologist who does classes as well, and the social worker. So it's a very busy day generally for most people, quite structured.
I've been my father's carer for 3 years. He was diagnosed of officially early onset Alzheimer in October of last year, which was very upsetting for the family, and he was put on to the dementia drugs, which we push for the diagnosis because we're very lucky to be near a memory clinic, and they were just incredible. And within 6 weeks I'd got my father back into the memory state of what he was before. Another service that Sanyres offers, which I think is fantastic, is they do accompanied walks. My father really enjoys walking, and back at home he walks 5-6 miles a day, and here, even though he's got the beautiful grounds to walk round, you know, the beach is at the bottom of the road, and I wanted him to go out and walk, and I can't always get here to do that. And they do accompanied walks. At any time of the day you can arrange for someone to come in and they'll take your relative for a lovely walk down on the beach. So I have a lady come every day at 6, and she takes my father for a lovely walk for an hour by the sea before he has his dinner at 7:30, and I have peace of mind knowing that he's there and enjoying the best of Spain.
There are more details where we do differentiate ourselves from other care homes. One might be the high success rate we are having. We have a lot of customers and travelers who are coming back for temporary stays year after year. The reason why people choose to stay with Sanyres are manifold. Obviously there is the wonderful climate we are having down here. We do provide high standard and modern accommodation. The resort's in a very, very perfect location as well, straight down to the beach. However, the main focus is rather on the high quality care that we do provide to our residents. According to our philosophy, adding years to life and life to years, we do provide much more services and assistance. It is obviously a big decision to move to a foreign country, into a senior resort or maybe even a care home. However, we do have some experience how to help people there. Barrier might be that people are afraid of the bureaucracy, all the paperwork. This we do have experience as well and solved in a lot of cases. Maybe moving of the furniture, if people want to bring their own furniture. We do cooperate with relocation services where we actually organize all that as well. We do have a lot of people coming down year after year until finally they decide to move in with us. I think this is making life very, very easy for anyone interested in retiring to Spain, maybe the Costa del Sol or the Atlantic coast.
I often think that family of adults with learning disabilities, they generally know some specialists in the field who can give them some advice. I think they need to start off with a wish list of what they would be looking for. Over the last few years, we've seen the development of services for people, younger adults with learning disabilities have become more and more specialised. So first of all, you need to know what it is you're looking for, and then go and look for that home.
ILG is a company, the name stands for Independent Living Group. It's a company that provides services for people with learning disability and complex needs. We operate in the south of England, in Hampshire, and in Surrey, and in Sussex, and in Kent. We provide a wide range of services for people. Some people have physical disabilities, but the majority of our service users are people with a learning disability. ILG is quite a unique company. It provides services for people in very small domestic environments, so they're semi-detached houses or detached houses. We look for maybe 4 or 5 people to live together rather than large groups of people. Our whole ethos is not about a home for life, it's very much about transition. So we're looking for people who will maybe come from home and come and stay with us for a few years with the intention of then moving on and having their own home, their own tenancy agreement, and we will put staff into their home eventually to support them. ILG services are very person-centred. What do I mean by that? Well, everybody that is referred to us, we do a very detailed assessment, mainly around their ability to support themselves. So everyday living skills is very important. The ability to use local services, to use local activities, what their hobbies are. So what we're trying to do is to build a picture of the individual where we understand their strengths and their interests, but also their needs. And our person-centered planning is all about supporting them to achieve their individual and personal goals. That involves a large group of people, staff team, with various skills. Many of our staff are qualified in working with people with learning disability, and a whole range of activities that support them to allow them to use ordinary everyday services in the community, similar to what you and I would use. The services that ILG provide to our service users are not unique, they're not special. In fact, they're everyday services, which is the whole concept between ILG. It's about providing a normal situation as possible to create an opportunity for our service users to experience a whole range of activities that you and I in our normal life would experience. Some of our service users need help in accessing services, for example, going to the library, using the local bus service, going to the local shop, budgeting, how to use money. All of these are very, very basic experiences that our service users will be exposed to over a period of time. Given that our service users have very, very different abilities and levels of ability, the whole idea around our person-centered planning is to understand what level of functioning our service users have and to build on their strengths. It's a very, very positive intervention that supports people through a long period of time, as long as it takes, so we can get them as independent as possible. So hopefully by the end of the stay with us, the individual is able to cope very well in society with little or no support from us. Our staff team is very important to us. We spend a lot of time training people to work with our service users. This starts right at the very beginning when we provide an induction program, which really introduces people to the idea of supporting individuals with a learning disability. Not so that they become dependent, but our staff understand that we're trying to encourage independence within our service user group. What sort of people are we looking for? Well, all sorts of people. We're looking for young people so that they can actually act as a role model to our younger population. We're looking for people who maybe have taken on a second career working in the caring profession. Again, they often bring a maturity different skills, different knowledge, the ability to help some of our service users in accessing local services, that sort of thing. So quite a wide range of people come and work for us. It's important that they bring skills, but we also give them additional skills in working with our client group. So there's a lot of emphasis on care planning, building up relationships, understanding risk, the assessment of risk. Obviously, we don't want our service users to be put in a situation where they're concerned about some of the things that we're asking them to do. We will push them, we will encourage them to experiment, knowing that they've got the full support of a very dedicated and experienced and qualified group of staff supporting them right through their stay with us. Location and environment is really important to us at ILG. First of all, the location. We're looking to provide services in communities where our service users can connect with the neighbours, can actually see themselves as part of what's going on in their street or in their road. We often encourage our service users to join clubs and be part of the local scene. That's quite challenging for some of our service users who may be not that confident in maybe joining the local scout group or the local cricket team or what have you. But with a lot of support from our staff, we're very confident that our service users can actually exploit the opportunity of working in a community and gaining from that community, and most importantly giving something back as well, and therefore being part of a wider group, and that wider group being the community. The second thing for us that's really important is where people live, the actual house or the home that we provide. It's got to look as normal as possible. What do I mean by that? Well, we don't make a lot of adaptations. We don't have to provide a lot of changes to our homes. It's really important that it's a good quality so that our service users appreciate that it's their space, they've got to look after it. So first of all, it's got to be of a very high standard, but it's got to look as normal as possible. So when you walk into one of our homes, you'll see that all of our service users have got their own rooms, their own space. They bring along their own personal belongings, and we really encourage people to look after the building that they're living in. But it's also a community as well, so they're learning to live with other people, because we believe that if they learn to live in the house together, then they'll learn to live with a wider community as well. So the whole emphasis on our services being as normal as possible. You'll probably walk down a high street or a road or an avenue right past one of our homes. You won't know it's there, and you shouldn't know it's there unless you want to actually go and meet the people who are inside, and you should take the time to do that because they'll be pleased to see you.
There will be care homes and services to suit everybody. And as I said, increasingly they're becoming specialist units. So you may have to do some searching, but I think that family and advocates will be able to find the perfect home if they're prepared to search hard enough.
New Directions is a company that runs care homes for adults specifically with Prader-Willi syndrome. We have 4 homes, the first of which opened in September 1998. We started the homes because a group of parents and carers came to us very concerned about the lack of specialist provision in the south of England. 2 of those people actually work for New Directions and have done since its inception in 1998, both of whom are in a senior management capacity. Lack of support for people with Prader-Willi syndrome can lead to some very serious health issues, not least morbid obesity and ultimately death. It's therefore important that people with Prader-Willi syndrome do have specialist provisions and support, and that staff are trained well, that they understand what the syndrome is and what the limitations of people with the syndrome actually are. New Directions homes are different from other learning disability homes because all we do is specialise for adults with Prader-Willi syndrome. That's not to say that adults with the syndrome can't live successful lives in other settings, but we have found that it relieves a huge amount of pressure from people when they're in a specialist environment. The main thing, of course, being the food issues. So at meal times, people sit down, they eat the same meals as everybody else, there are no differences, and indeed in New Directions homes, the staff eat the same meals as well. Therefore, nobody with Prader-Willi syndrome is seeing somebody else perhaps eating jam roly-poly when they've only got a yoghurt and an apple as their pudding. And that probably takes away 40 to 60% of the pressure that can build up on people with the syndrome living in other environments.
The Prader-Willi Syndrome Association is a national registered charity which was set up to provide help and support for professionals and families affected by Prader-Willi syndrome. The condition, Prader-Willi syndrome, is a complex genetic condition which manifests itself in an obsession with food. This means that people with PWS go through life in a constant state of starvation, so that no matter how much they eat or how often they eat, they are hungry all the time. Now, as well as that, you would think that would be bad enough, as well as that they have learning disabilities, mental health problems occasionally, and have what's known as obsessive compulsive disorder. And they also are socially and emotionally not able to function in society on a normal basis, as you and I would understand. Prader-Willi syndrome requires those people who are looking after people with PWS to look after them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are residential providers and supported living providers across the country. Some of them are not so good, but others, like New Directions, have developed a specialism and an expertise that the charity has been helping them develop for a very long time.
One of the things, if you're continually hungry, that is important is that you're occupied. The more occupied you are, the less you're likely to be thinking about when the next meal is. So we place a huge emphasis on day services and leisure activities, evenings and weekends, but particularly during the weekdays we have a very full programme for each of our service users. That includes many activity-based, physical activity-based programmes. Our residents go swimming. They enjoy going to the gym, they go trampolining, they go to a pottery, and that's beside things like college courses, work placements. We've got several very successful work placements now, which we're very proud of. Horticultural projects. We've got several residents that really enjoy going to a gardening project and growing things and getting involved in cutting people's lawns and those kind of activities. Evenings and weekends are fairly packed. There's visits to the other homes so that everybody gets a chance to mingle. There's a pub trip, which is quite popular with everyone. Going to the cinema, 10-pin bowling. Visits to the family homes, of course, are very important for our service users.
I'm proud to say that the charity, the Prader-Willi Syndrome Association, has been leading or encouraging research to take place not only in the UK but across the whole of Europe. PWS is a rare disease. It affects only something like one person in 23,000 live births. So that means that perhaps there's anywhere between 40 to 50 people born with the condition each year. And that isn't a lot. Now, if you are a researcher and you're looking for people to research, and why do you just want to research, the charity is always keen to make sure that the research actually benefits people with PWS as in a short amount of time as possible, so that the quality of their life and the longevity of their life can be increased as much as possible. The benefit of us doing research on a European-wide basis is that the numbers involved in any one country, even in a large country like the UK, just aren't sufficient for scientists to actually work with. So if we're able to accumulate all the data across Europe, then we're getting on for something like 10,000 people, and we're hoping that over time we can build up a big clinical database. If you go through life hungry, on the one day that you're hungry, how difficult do you find it? Imagine feeling like that at all times, even after you've eaten. It really is a fundamental part of our lives, food is, and it is really, really difficult. And I have to say, the people I've met with PWS, they are incredibly brave, and sometimes they don't even talk about the fact that they're hungry. They just They just go through life with that, and they talk about other things, etc. And they're able to just put that aside and move on with their lives. I'm not sure I'd have the courage to do that.
Although there's still a huge amount that isn't understood about Prader-Willi syndrome, and research continues, things have got much better for people with the syndrome over the last 15 to 20 years. There's now a better understanding from doctors and from other specialists and professionals, but it's still really important that the general public are much more aware of the difficulties faced by people with the syndrome, so that they are able to lead much happier, longer and more fulfilling lives. The motivation for the managers and the staff team for working in this particular section of the industry is the huge pleasure that we have from seeing people that have been admitted to our service at 28 and 30 stone lose weight, gain mobility, have much healthier lifestyles and start to really enjoy their lives. And nothing really can be better than that feeling of seeing somebody achieve.
Care homes have in the past received very bad press, and we hope this documentary has demonstrated that not all homes should be tarred with the same brush, and that the bad homes are the exception to the rule and not the norm. I'm Georgina Burnett, and you've been watching Advances in Care, Choosing the Right Care Home.